Hello. So I find this so valuable, so I'm just gonna continue. But where was I? Direct, indirect expressions. I did that. Okay. Oh, that's a long one. Oh, no, that's cool. I can do that. So the next paragraph is. Anger is universally human. Ways of handling anger are culturally varied. Do you pronounce that like that? Varied? 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 It is human to feel angry, just as it is human to feel love, desire, or fear. Anger is not in itself a problem. Anger is not in itself a problem. Children periodically get mad, raise hell, and get over it. Sometimes they win and get their way, and sometimes they lose, but they usually get over it. Adults, however, persist in using learned ways of handling anger that don't work. This attachment to fruitless strategies, not the anger itself, is the problem. Anger is bound to happen to all human beings, from being little, less strong, and dependent on others for a long, long time. It seems like it takes forever to get big. All children get mad in all cultures. Some babies are fussier than others to start with, but all babies are in for disappointment as they grow older. The older they grow, the more disappointments they experience, and they protest angrily. Parental response to these early instances of protest are the start of long-term cultural conditioning. As soon as we become capable of having expectations, we become capable of protesting, not having them met. As Norman O. Brown points out in Life Against Death, if being neurotic is protesting against the world being as it is, neurosis is built into growing up. As I said in the previous chapter, being a neurotic is incessantly demanding in a rigid, stylized form that the world be other than it is. I repeat that. As I said in the previous chapter, being a neurotic is incessantly demanding in a rigid, stylized form that the world be other than it is. If someone gets drunk a few times, she hasn't yet qualified as an alcoholic, but if she persists, she earns the right to the category. And on numerous occasions and at all stages of growing up, all of us behave neurotically. Whether we adopt the neurotic protest as a standard life, as an incessant theme, and as a way of being depends on a lot of factors. The most important of which is how we handle the anger that comes with disappointed expectations. And I make a break here. This is not the full paragraph. It continues, but I will do that in the next video. And I would love to have a new pen to make a mark, but I don't have it right now. What is it? No, does it? Oh, it does. Hallelujah. So first of all, I really don't like the use of I hate the words neurosis. I hate the words neurotic. I'm a hater when it comes to diagnosis. Basically, when it comes to any negative definition that defines any sort of like behavior as kind of ill or as say not normal in a negative way, kind of not right, and that's what neurosis does. Definitely, I don't want anybody to come here and argue that this is just a neutral word. It's fucking not a neutral word. Seriously, I guess if anybody wants to argue on the case that neurosis is something neutral, go the fuck to hell, really. No, I hate that. I fucking hate anything. But if you scrap this off from what he says here, all this therapeutic crap, what he says really has is very valuable. To taking this word away, basically what he says is protesting against the world being as it is, and that this is kind of a normal part of growing up, and that it becomes, well, basically saying then that it is neurosis is basically saying that it becomes a problem. So it becomes a problem if you are rigidly, incessantly demanding that the world is being other than it is. That you're constantly, like, basically in a state of wanting to control something and constantly feeling the powerlessness of not being able to control anything. And I really want to say something here, because what Mr. Blanton really lacks for me is some kind of spiritual understanding and an understanding of how we really create our world, with what these days is termed as the law of attraction, or call it quantum physics or whatever. But the fact that that we have power, but we don't have the power in the way that we do have, and that all these tantrums, basically, all the anger, basically, is a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding over where our true power lies. But, and that what I want to say here, where I totally agree with him, and I'm getting to agree with him more and more on this, the expression of anger and the state of anger as such, that state of misunderstanding, or whatever you want to call it, of not being with the real power, demanding the power but not being with it, is healthy. And what I don't like the way he writes, it gets you the idea, well, you basically have to accept that you don't have power. No, that's not the case. You have to accept that what you think you should have as power doesn't exist, but that you really have all the power that you ever wanted, but you're looking in the wrong places. But that's basically more a discussion when it comes to Abraham Hicks or whatever. I don't want to credit all that stuff always to them. There have been many people who said that, but I've been very involved with their teachings, so that's why I always refer to them. Yeah, and anger is not in itself a problem, and I think this is one of the most valuable things. Anger is not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just not a problem. As he says, it's human, just as it is to feel love. I don't know if I would agree with that phrase, that the way he phrases this. I don't know. I don't like to say it's human. I'd like to say it's the natural part of our life experience, that disappointment, that not getting what we want. And yeah, and what is yeah, it's yeah, that's basically the valuable message here. And what I also want to say is I just was really angry, and I'm still right now just really heart-wrenching insecurity left right now in a relationship, in my relationship, and but it was kind of good for me in a way, because I kept remembering, Hannah, don't go and smother your anger. Express your anger as it is. You are not fair right now, and just be. And it's like, and I realized I was constantly, because I didn't even really know why I was so angry. Yes, he had said he's gonna be there in 10 minutes, but then he wasn't there in 10 minutes, and he had sent me a message, but apparently the network had some problems and I didn't receive it, and so on. And I got so upset, but I was still angry after things got explained. It turned out he had sent me a message at that point. So, and that was the crucial point where I usually would have said, Hannah, there is no fucking reason anymore to be angry. There's just no reason to be angry. And I remembered, no, that's not the point here. It's not about right or wrong. It's about being present with the anger and really allowing it in its full-blown feature and expressing it. Boy, was that hard. And it was even harder because it wasn't in person, and that's really tough. I tried my best. I don't know. I'll see. Probably it will bob up over the next days, and I have to keep expressing it till it's finally. I mean, it gave some relief, and I'm much more. At least I realized, why am I really this angry? Where does all this this insecurity also come from? And I realized, yeah, this is because I want him to be more open. He is like a very, very honest person. Like, he doesn't tell lies, and he's not even so much withholding when it comes to feelings. But he's what I really like in people when they really, really share. Not just like, I mean, he'd be saying, "I really want you," and what I would want is someone who's really like, oh, I want you because, and really like, really get into the feeling of it when he's expressing it, you know. And he's just, oh, that makes me angry. It makes me want to punch him. It makes me want to, hate it, hate it. Such an asshole. I'm still not giving all I have, but that feels better. I think there were oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, I dare say that's it for today. It was a true pleasure talking to you, talking in front of you, whoever you are. Bye.